Hi, guys, and welcome to an unbiased review of Paralives. I normally do not post reviews, but I really wanted to for this game because I have been waiting for this game to come out for a very long time. If you guys may remember, there was a time where we were expecting not one, not two, but three new life simulators that everyone was calling The Sims Killer. We were expecting Inzoi, which dropped last year, and Paralives, which has come out today, and Life by You, that sadly dissolved and isn't coming. I was looking forward to that one. That was the one that I wanted to play more than the other two. So I was very disappointed when that didn't happen. I bought Inzoi on launch to do what I'm doing right now, play it and give a day one review of it, and I didn't like it. So I just never made the video. I didn't want to play long enough. There wasn't enough to do. Thankfully, a year later, it is better. But let's see how Paralives compares to that. Because my expectations for this are a lot higher than they were of Enzoy because I have seen a lot more of their early development. I have been following this game. I have been avoiding watching anything in the early access that has been released already with other YouTubers because I didn't want spoilers. So I went into this completely blind today and I'm going to give you guys a very honest reaction to everything that I saw, from glitches to the good, the bad, and everything in between. Okay, just a reminder, this is very, very early access. Early access is going to be about 2 years, and this game is only like 5 minutes old when I started recording. So all of this footage is from the game's first about 4 hours of life. With the Para Creator, I want to show you guys this for sure first. They've got the color wheel. I know that's a huge thing that a lot of people have been requesting in like The Sims and in a lot of different life simulators, and people are always really disappointed when it's not there. It's here. They've also got these different presets, but they've also got over here on the side you can see you can click and drag, kind of like how you can in The Sims 4, where you can mold their bodies a little bit, which I really appreciate because I do not work well with sliders. Now, keeping in mind that this is limited because it is so new, there's a lot of features that have yet to be added. They've got the draggers on the face too, which is really cool. But when you get into the clothes and stuff, you will sort of start to notice there's not as many clothes, there's not as many hairstyles. You do have a color wheel for hair and eyes, which I really appreciated that when it came to the eyes, because more eye colors are always appreciated, and you can just never have enough. So having the ability to use a color wheel to make my own eye color was really cool. Again, the hairs, they do have some options, but they are a bit on the limited side. You do have color options for those too. I just didn't show it here. This is what I want to show you guys for sure though. I didn't know this was going to be the game. They have prosthetic legs. I really hope that they expand on this with more prosthetics. Disabilities are near impossible to put in games like this, because of how diverse they are, there's no one size fits all. I know it's literally my job. I work in that field. It's impossible to put them in games and represent everybody, but just having the visual there is a big step. And I would like to see more of that moving forward in the future. I was really excited to see that they had that here. This is also something else that was really interesting and new. I've never seen a life simulator game with options for an easy, normal, and hard mode, which is basically what these guys are. You'll see in my actual gameplay of this how this plays out. They basically give you options for different buffs and different challenges, which is really cool. I love this town. They only had two options for places to live. They had the town, and then they had like sound like an open type situation where you can build your own. I don't really know. I didn't click into that one. I probably should have. I didn't want to risk messing up my files by opening another save. Sometimes that glitches on me, so I didn't check that one out. This is the town. This is the main place that you can live, and I think it's really cute. There's not a whole lot going on. There's some restaurants, which I think I have some footage of in here later. I just clipped up my gameplay from the actual gameplay video that I'm going to do so I can show you guys some things without spoiling my video that I'm going to be showing you guys later. But the town does have a few things. It's got like restaurants and mainly parks. There's a museum. You'll see that later for sure. Right now, you're going to see them flirting. This was so hard. They didn't make it like how in The Sims it is, where you just click and flirt, and then all of a sudden they're in love and they can get married like 20 minutes later, or shoot, 5 minutes later, actually. So it's a lot harder to build relationships, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I did get kind of bored because you just click talk and then you have to wait for the bar to fill up so that you can select a card, but it's fine. It's a unique way of doing it, and I thought that was pretty cool, but it got a little bit tedious at times. Right now, we're getting ready to jump into the build mode, which I know is a big seller for this game, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really good. This reminded me a lot of The Sims 4 build mode, and I'm trying really hard to let this game stand on its own and not compare it to everybody else, but it's the only way that I can think to compare this. It has a lot in common with The Sims 4 build, which is a great build mode. It's got something else that I really wish we had in other games, and you guys, if you've seen the trailers, have seen this. You can place a window down and watch this. Ta-da! You can stretch the window to be whatever width and length you want. That is a game changer. Every life simulator needs this. I absolutely love that. Unfortunately, you can't put windows or doors on curved walls right now. I don't know when in early access that's going to be getting fixed. They will be adding it at some point, they said, but for right now, you can't do anything with that. So your curved walls, just be mindful of them. They have a lot of options for colors and different patterns and stuff. And you might notice there's a little plus sign there. When you click on it, there's a color wheel. That was also really cool to see. I'm not a big fan of color wheels in decorating because they take up way too much of my time. I will sit for 3 hours trying to color match things, but it is nice to see because I know a lot of people like that. So it's good to have that as an option. This is the restaurant. I think everybody's sick. I don't know. They were all sneezing. You guys will see in my gameplay. Here's the cards that I was talking about too. The restaurant gameplay wasn't really all that exciting. You just kind of come in, you eat, you unlock some cooking skills apparently. So that's one of the things you can do in the town. There wasn't a whole lot to do in the town, but there was stuff to do in my home, and that kept me pretty entertained. And like I said, building relationships is really hard, so that took a lot of time. Overall, I'd say the gameplay is pretty much on par with the other life sims that are out on the market right now. You know, your Enzoy, your Sims 4s, your Denizens, all the different life sims that are out there. It's pretty much the same level, I would say. The one thing I did like was the way that they did the museum, and there's a quest board that, and this magazine too. I like that the notifications aren't overwhelming. Magazine tells you what events are going on instead of having the constant pop-ups in the corner that can get really annoying and agitating. And then the quest board is a really cool thing that you can click on and get quests. It's basically like the one in Stardew Valley. It gives you just different things that you can do and little tasks to complete. You can also donate to the museum, which was really fun. And I found a shelf that washed up in the ocean, so that was also really cool. So the gameplay in that aspect I do really like. There's a lot of different things that I would really like to be able to play more with, and I will be playing more with. I am going to be posting a full gameplay of this. I just wanted to get a review out because I know a lot of people are waiting for reviews before they make the jump to buy it because the game is a little bit on the expensive side. I almost didn't buy it because of the price. I kind of went back and forth on it, but it's an anniversary for me today, so I'm celebrating. And I went ahead and treated myself to a new game. I do like that they did try and add new things, like your career, the way it levels up is a little bit different. You can kind of pick different perks. Your relationships level up very differently than other games. I thought the cemetery was a really cool little touch behind the hospital. There's a lot of really fun, just little details that they have changed. I've played a lot of life simulator games, and they've added things that I didn't really think that would be added. So there were nice little surprises in there. I don't want to give away too much. Like I said, I want you guys to actually get to experience the game for yourself, or in watching actual gameplay, let it reveal itself. I do think that the gameplay was good. It was a solid game considering it's an early access. The only problem I had, and this is something that does need to be addressed, I have submitted a report on this, the glitch, the big glitch. I ran into a glitch before I even got off the train. It was immediate and it was game breaking. I had to close the game several times and completely restart my computer and boot the game back up. I was doing that like every 10 minutes. It was pretty bad. The way you move your camera is with the arrow keys, and you can also use WASD. Um, that feature would break frequently, and that's a problem because if you can't move, you can't do much. And then something that accompanied that, you couldn't interact with other parafolk. Kind of hard to build relationships when you can't interact. So that's a glitch. I'm not saying that to put the game down. It is an early access game. This game is basically a newborn. I mean, it's been out for like 4.5 hours, something like that. It's a baby. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm not trying to put the game down. I have reported the bug. It's early access. It's to be expected there will be bugs, but it's a pretty big bug, and I just feel like people should be aware of it. I am hoping that they fix the bug relatively quickly, but that was the big bug that I ran into. Other than that, though, I didn't run into like any bugs. I had no trouble with anything else. It was just that one little thing where the camera would get stuck and wouldn't let me do anything but rotate. And that was really the only bug. That and then, not being able to talk to each other. But I was able to get that fixed relatively easily by just closing the game and reopening it. So I'm hoping that they will fix it and it will be fixed in no time. Uh, this part I'm going to show you guys right now was very difficult. Going back to the relationships, so hard to make them connect and to date because it's like a little mini game almost of trying to do math while you're doing things. What percentage chance do you have? Do you even want to take that chance? And as you can see here, it fails. It's not as simple as just click and basically a guaranteed reaction. You can't just spam flirt and then date like you can in The Sims. So it's a lot more challenging in that aspect. Not a complaint, just a note. If you're looking for a game with a little bit more of a challenge to getting into a relationship, this is going to give you that. I do really like that. It kind of made things a little bit more interesting. It took forever to get them to actually date, and then they almost broke up immediately. So it's not like The Sims in that sense. We've joked for years about The Sims. You meet, you get married, you have a kid, a day has passed. And I don't foresee that happening here in this game. And there's a storyteller popping up with a little story card too. You'll see that a few times throughout my playthrough that I did. And that's a really cool element that I really like, and I'm really glad they added because it does add things to the game. Usually it's just like little things like, oh, you're going to make friends. Everybody's going to want to be your friend today. Uh-oh, you had a problem at work today. Well, it turns out it was a misunderstanding and that's going to go away. Or, oops, you've got a crush on this person. Things like that. Just little things that kind of push you around into different gameplay, which I think is really cool. I like the storyteller aspect. I like that the relationships are a little bit harder to form, kind of gives you a little bit of a challenge. I like the parafolk creator. I like the build mode. I can't think of a single element of the gameplay that I disliked, in all honesty. I liked all of it. It was all very fun. Only problem I had was that glitch. The glitch will be fixed, I'm sure. And once that's fixed, I have high hopes for this game. Okay, so I like to try and judge these games as their own thing and not compare them to other games in the genre, as hard as that is. Because every single game, whether it's good or bad, is inevitably going to be somebody's first exposure to that genre. So, putting myself in the headspace of somebody who has never played a life sim before. I am 6 years old, I have never seen a life sim before, and I've suddenly been introduced on my sister's computer to Paralives. And I load into the game, I'm making my character, I'm playing in the town, I'm building relationships. What am I thinking? How do I feel about the game? Would I enjoy it? I think I would. I do genuinely think this is a good life sim. It's got all of the things that you want to see in something that is supposed to be simulating life as an early access state. I do want to stress that it is early access, and that is very apparent in the things that are missing. But even for an early access game, it is very good. You are able to make a character with ease. I did not struggle to make a character. I did not struggle to make a house, other than when my camera locked. I did not struggle to follow the directions of finding a job and to go through the gameplay. I had no trouble at all figuring out the controls and getting into the game and actually getting to play and have fun with it. I did enjoy this game. It was not something that I had to sit and fight with, which I've had to do with a few games. I've played a few life sims that are in early access that you just struggle with. On its own, I think Paralives does stand as a good game. It's got good gameplay, it's got good creation, it's there. All of the things that you want are there. And I do think that it stands up as like a solid 8 out of 10 in its early access state as an early access game. I want to stress that it is early access. There are going to be bugs, there are going to be things that are lacking. That's to be expected. It's going to be in early access for about, I think they said 2 years. But I think that it holds up really well on its own. Now, let's compare it to the other games that we are familiar with. I'm going to start with the Sims Killer competitor. They've been saying that Inzoi was the Sims Killer. They've been saying Paralives is the Sims Killer. Are either of them going to kill the Sims? Is one of them better than the other? Well, on launch, Inzoi was a hot mess. I'm just going to say it. I bought it day one and it sucked. I did not like the game. There was not enough to do. It just fell flat. I didn't have fun with it. I didn't touch it for a while. I let them update and add things. And now that they've done that, I think it's a good game. It's a really good game. I was literally just playing it the other day in my own time, not on the channel. And I had fun with it. I enjoyed Inzoi. The creator was good. The all the things were fine. But I think that Paralives is a little bit better. There's absolutely more to do in Inzoi because it's further along in its journey, and there's a little bit more of a realism aspect with the art style and things like that. So if that's what you're looking for, you're probably not going to be finding what you're looking for in Paralives. Paralives is more cartoony. It has a little bit less to do. It's a very laid back kind of game, and I think that's good. It's got a little bit of a challenge to it, which is also good. And I didn't really see that too much in Inzoi. So I think that they both hold up fine. I think Paralives isn't going to be like crushed under the weight of Inzoi or anything. I also don't think it's going to be crushing Inzoi. I think they're about equal. And as for The Sims, because you know that is who Paralives' main competitor is. You know that's who everybody's gonna look at this and they're gonna go, oh, it's a new Sims competitor. It's the Sims killer. It's the Sims. Everything's the Sims, and we are going to compare it to that. Um, they're very similar. I'm not gonna lie, they are very similar. But I think there's room for both. The build buy is very similar. Like I said, and I think that by the time Paralives is done being released, it's gonna be on par, the build mode, with The Sims 4. Right now, the only thing that is keeping The Sims 4 above Paralives in that aspect, I'm speaking only on the build right now, is the fact that it's got more stuff. Which, I mean, obviously it's got more stuff. I mean, it's been around for years. It's had updates and events, and it's not even fair to compare the amount of stuff. So the amount of stuff is the only thing that I think is putting it above. It's got more things that you can work with. Paralives is going to have that. So I think that I would say, yeah, the build mode's just as good as The Sims. Now, Cass versus Parafolk Creator, again, don't remember what they're supposed to be calling it. I'm sorry. New game. I will learn the new terminology. Um, again, they're pretty close. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this because I love Cass in Sims 4. I think it's really awesome. I think Paralives wins. I think it's a little bit better, and that surprises me because there's not that much stuff, but that color wheel helps a lot more than I thought it would. I have never been one of the people who calls for a color wheel, who's been like, "We need a color wheel. Sims doesn't have a color wheel and it's wrong and we need one." No, I've never been that person. I have never cared about the color wheel. I want a color wheel in eye color and hair at least. I want a color wheel. And Paralives gave me that. I was able to make a custom eye color, and I really, really appreciated that because I focus on my eyes of my characters a lot. It's one of those little details that bothers me, and I have more options here. So, yeah, I think that their creator is a lot better for their creating a character. I also really like the personality thing. Instead of having traits, you kind of do like points, like on a skill tree almost. Like, you guys ever play Fallout? You got the tree. It's that kind of a thing where you have to pick what you're going to use. And you sort of do it a little bit differently. And I really liked how they did it. I also liked that you can have a middle name, which is something that I've never seen in another life sim where you can have a middle name and you can have a nickname added in, which is really cool. Because like I do that with my Sims and it's just all in my head. And it's kind of nice to not have to use your imagination and have the feature actually there. Because as much as I like using my imagination, it's fun to actually see it on the screen. Now, the big question is this the Sims killer? Because everybody keeps calling it that. I have not changed my opinion. I don't think it is. I don't think that The Sims will be killed. I think that The Sims is not able to be killed. It's too big. It's too beloved. It's not going anywhere. And that's not a bad thing. I kind of really wish people would stop comparing other life sims and saying they're going to take down the Sims and they're going to be a Sims killer. And you're just hurting the other games when you say that, in my opinion. I mean, it's free speech, say whatever you want, but I feel like it's not a good idea to constantly be comparing little indie games to the big Sims games. And I know I just did that, but it's because it's hard not to. So it's kind of a double edged sword here. You don't want to compare it too much. Let it stand on its own. It's a good game on its own. It doesn't have to kill The Sims to be good. It doesn't have to kill The Sims at all. Sims doesn't need to die. This is a good game. I think Sims is also a good series. It's got its problems. So does this. And that's okay. It's a game made by people. People will make flaws. It happens. Does The Sims have a lot of issues? Yes. Do I want to see it get better? Yes. Do I want to see it die because an indie studio stomped it out? Not really. No. I would love to see Paralives rise up to its same level. I would love to see Enzoi rise to that level too. I love life simulators. I would love to see the genre explode and just have all of these different options so that you can go from this game to that game to that game and have all these different options to play. Games tend to do that. When one game takes off, the whole genre seems to explode, and I think that's what's happening with the life sims right now. It happened a while back with Stardew and the Farming Simulator series. Stardew came out, and then it got really big, and a lot of Farming Simulator ripoffs came out. And it happened in the 2000s too with the tycoon games. I don't know if you remember, there were tycoons of everything. And I think right now life simulators are just having their moment. And as a fan of the genre, I'm very excited to see that. I think there's room for all of them. Overall, I think Paralives is a good game. I have enjoyed playing it. I'm going to continue playing it. I need to finish my video that I was working on and making a whole gameplay video of it, like I have with The Sims. I will have that up as soon as I can. I don't know how much more recording I'm going to be able to do because I have to go back to work, but I'm going to try and get that done as soon as I can, get that out because I do like this game. I'm having fun playing it. Is it a Sims killer? Again, no. But we are not looking for a Sims killer. We are looking for a fun life simulator game, and this absolutely does it. If you are holding out on getting Paralives, I do recommend it. Maybe give them a few days to try and work out some of the early bugs that people have reported. That's something I always try and do. I didn't do it this time, but usually when games are early access, I let people be the test guinea pigs first and let them report all the bugs. And then after the first few patches, then I play the game. So maybe do that, give it a couple days, and then get it. Give them some time to fix the early bug reports because they're going to have a ton of bug reports coming in over the next few days, I'm sure. And they will get it fixed, and then the game will get even better, and then you can just have an even better experience. I do recommend the game. The price is a little bit meh, but you know, it's to be expected at this point. Games are just ridiculously overpriced. A lot of games right now are like $60, and that's just become for some reason completely normal to charge $60 for a game. This is not $60. I'll put the price on screen. I think it was like $35. It's on sale right now. And it will go on sale again at some point, I'm sure. Early access games do that. They go on sale from time to time. So if you're not super sure that you'd like it, you don't have to buy it right now just because you want to get the sale price. It'll go on sale again eventually. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think of the game. I am super curious. I have been avoiding listening to everybody else's commentary because I wanted to be unbiased. I didn't want to let anybody else's opinion influence mine. And I think that's worked. I really like the game on its own. I like it against Sims. I like it against Enzoy. I like it better than Enzoy, if I'm being honest. Um, yeah, I like it. I'm happy to have it, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing this moving forward. I'm gonna be having a gameplay video up soon, so keep an eye out for that if you are interested. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you're gonna get the game, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. And if you're not gonna get the game, I hope you have a lot of fun watching other people play it because sometimes that's more fun than playing yourself. Just kind of depends on the person in the game. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.